Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Everything that I use today you can purchase from Stampin' Up through the address at the top of the screen. Thank you to all of my followers, my subscribers who have been watching my videos for a little over a year now. I'm so appreciative. And if you're new here, please subscribe. And if you want to know when I upload a video, you can hit the notification bell. All of the info about my video and the links to Stampin' Up and to my blog are below. If you click the little arrow that is right about under here, it'll bring down a screen that has all my information. Okay, so today I made a triangle box. This one is easy. There is no getting a ruler out and scoring the triangle. It's just some pretty straight scoring, and it's really not too hard at all. I used the Nuts About Squirrels stamp set, the seasonal label dies, and the Sweet Symmetry Designer Series paper, along with some Bumblebee Gingham ribbon and some matte decorative dots. Inside here, now you don't have to put a bow that ties around. You can just have one put on with glue dots, and you can put Velcro dots on here if you wanted to. But inside I have some nice kisses. About 12 or 13 of them will fit in here. And this is a great little gift. Doesn't even have to be a fall gift. It can be for whenever you like. I do love this squirrel stamp set. I just wish it did have dies, but the fussy cutting, after you get used to it, it's really not a big deal. Let's see what else. Oh, the kisses I got. I think this bag was $2.99. Even has a little squirrel on it. I think 11.5 ounces. So you get a bunch of them, a bunch of these out of the bag. All right, so I'll show you what we need here. Not too much. We need a piece of Pear Pizzazz that is 9 by 8. We need a piece of scrap basic white for stamping. We need one of the smallest of these labels from the seasonal label dies from Pear Pizzazz. And we need 3 pieces of the Sweet Symmetry Designer Series paper that are 4 3/4 by 1 3/4. Okay, not too much stuff for this, but I think it's cute as anything. It'll be perfect also around the table for Thanksgiving, or a little Thanksgiving gift, or just a fall gift. All right. So we're going to start with the Simply Scored and our 9 by 8 piece of cardstock. I always say that. And we're going to start on the 9-inch side. And we're going to score at 2 and 7. And then we're going to turn it to the 8-inch side, and we're going to score at 2, 4, and 6. And that's it. Okay. Now I'm just going to fold and burnish. Now today the 23rd? I'm not sure. Yes, today's the 23rd, so we have 7 more days left, 1 week left of celebration. So if you were going to order anything to get the free products with every $50 you spend, you have 1 more week to do it. Alrighty. And if you wanted to join, if you join my team during celebration, you get an extra bundle for free, along with the $125 worth of product for $99 and free shipping. Okay, and this is what we want to do. Now this is just, let's see, 2-inch strips going this way with the squares at the ends. So we can use it either this way or this way because it's symmetrical. It doesn't matter. As long as you have the 9-inch going in the landscape. All right, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of these 2 squares. We're going to wedge these two squares and then cut them short so they'll fit. We're going to leave this one alone, and then we're going to wedge this and cut it short too on these two. So it's really not too hard. Okay, so we're going to start with the 9" in the landscape where there's 2 strips of squares on the left and right. And we're going to go on the bottom left hand side, and we're going to cut to the first score line. Okay, and then we're going to wedge the size of this square. And then we're going to cut off, I'd say, about a ½ inch, okay, off of the bottom so that it will fit when we close this. All right, that's the reason for that. We're going to skip this long rectangle and cut this side of it straight. We're going to wedge the sides of this square. Oops. And cut about a ½ inch off. Okay, so that's what we did so far. Now we're going to turn it, so what we just did is at the top. Okay, and this side's just a little bit different. Okay, so we want to get rid of these two, and we're going to tab these two. So I want you to come in one score line, cut that straight up to the first score line, and then cut it again up to the second score line. Is that right? Yes. Okay, just like that. So these two are kind of flapping right now. I'm going to cut off the bottom one and then wedge this here and cut about a ½ inch off of that. Okay, so that's what we did. Now we're going to go, let me just straighten out this cut I didn't do too well. Okay, I'm going to go to the other side of this long rectangle, cut straight to the first score line and then to the second score line. Okay, then we're going to get rid of this square on the bottom, wedge the sides of this square, and cut off about a ½ inch. And that is what your cardstock should look like after you're finished. Okay, so now our box is going to go together like this. All right, so this is going to be the rectangle that's completely free with nothing next to it. We want to round the corner of the 2 corners with the detail trio punch. Okay. Then we need some tear and tape. And I want you to put tear and tape on these 2 sides on each of these tabs all around. One there and one there. So one inside next to the rectangles and one on the outside on all 4 flaps. Okay. And then you need to take your pick tool, and we're going to do one side at a time. So we're going to take the backing off of each one of these pieces on these tabs on the left side or the right side, it doesn't matter. You can do them both, either way. Okay, now what we want is this piece on the square to go straight with this piece on the side of the rectangles. All right, so we're going to go just like that, press it down, and then this one is the same. This part of the square here, straight with this part of the rectangle. Okay, and that's that side, and then we're going to do this side. Now this tape I went over a little, so just roll it back so it doesn't get sticky on the bottom. All right, and the same thing. This line has to be straight with this rectangle, not the flap, the one that's below the flap. It just kind of goes that way because it won't really let you attach to this flat part. Okay, and then this line here with that line. Okay, and there's your box. Now, to make it triangle and to get the flap to fit, all we need to do, let's flip this back a little bit, is put your pointer in the middle and push and squeeze with your other fingers until it meets up. Okay, and then just give it a tiny squeeze and run your fingers down the sides. Now, it might resist a little bit, but just give it a little bit of your finger, like run it so that it gets a little bit warmed up, and that will happen. And then your sides are fine without having to do all that extra scoring without your scoreboard. Okay, so that's it. All right, now is the DSP. So now you could, I only put 3. I put 1 on the front and back, which is the most important, and I put 1 on the inside flap. You could also do a 4th piece here if you wanted to. I was thinking about putting Velcro there, so I didn't do one, but I think I'm just going to leave it, and then I can just write a little note if I want to. All right, so I'm going to leave it at 3, but 4 is good too. So first we're going to put one right here on the outside. So we have to round the bottom 2 corners with the detail trio punch again. So that one goes there, and the one on the inside we're going to have to round the top corners. And it doesn't really matter if you don't have a direction, if you don't have an up and down to your cardstock, you can just round one side and then flip it around. Okay, so this one will go inside there. And then the last one just stays straight. So I'm going to attach all of those. I'm going to use liquid glue. Okay, now while that's drying, I want to do our stamping. So we need our label and we need our piece of scrap. So the first thing we're going to do is stamp the inside, the colored part, which is this part of our squirrel. So I'm going to use pumpkin pie for that, but you could use like smoky slate or cinnamon cider for that if you wanted to, or any color you want your squirrel. I'm just going to put that down like that, and it is my preference to do the fur first, but you could do it the other way too. And then we need Tuxedo Black for the outline. And I meet up the feet and the bump in the tail and the ears. Good. All right. Now we need early espresso for the cap of the acorn. You could also color these in if you wanted to too. You don't have to stamp them. And then cinnamon cider for the bottom of the acorn. There is a little tiny cutout for the hand, but I don't usually get it right, but yeah, I did pretty good that time. Okay. And then we have to fussy cut it, but I have one here already that I've done. And you see how the cinnamon cider and the smoke and the early espresso lightens up a little bit? It comes out dark at first, and the pumpkin pie too. Okay, now we're going to do the label, and I use early espresso and the Nuts About You sentiment, and I'm going to put it towards the left of this label. Okay. Alright, so that's all our stamping. Okay, now I got a little bit of glue on the front here. I just want to get off. This is just a glue eraser. You can get them from a lot of places online, but this one is just a cheap one from Dollar Tree. It works okay. Not as good as some of them, but okay. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to line this label up a little bit more, not exactly center, a little bit more to the left. Let me see. I'll tell you exactly so that you don't have to guess. I did it about an inch off of the edge of the Designer Series paper. So about an inch. Whoops. Say about an inch. There we go. Okay, so right about here I'm going to put it. I'm going to just liquid glue this on. Okay, and then I'm going to get some dimensionals from my squirrel, which I used the back of a mistake. So that's what's on the back of this, but that's all right. Alright, and I'm just going to put him right next to the sentiment. Just make sure he's straight at the bottom. And he sticks up just a tiny bit at the top. Alright, now we can fill our Kisses. And these are just the regular chocolate ones. I'm surprised because usually the regular chocolate ones are just foil, right? Like orange and green and silver or gold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So yeah, 13 fits perfectly in there. You can put 12 or 14 if you don't like 13. It doesn't bother me. All right, and then I need my Bumblebee gingham ribbon, and it has such a cute, I don't know if you could see, it has very cute, fine little scallop on one edge. Very cute. This is from the annual catalog, I believe. And I'm just going to tie a nice bow. So what I just did was tie the Bumblebee gingham ribbon around the closed box. And I just left a little bit of extra tails just so that if the person doesn't want to have to struggle with slipping it on again, they'll have a little more wiggle room when they tie it if it's long. Okay, so then the last final touch is to add some of these matte decorative dots, and I'm going to use the other side of my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to put on some of the green, the lighter green ones. I picked a large, oops, a medium, nope, that's not a large. Large, a medium, and a small. Okay, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Remember, all of the measurements are on my blog, which is listed below. And if you need any products, please consider buying them through me. And I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.